Hi, my name is Dave. I'm your host. You're listening to The Last Podcast, where the first shall be last and the last shall be first. If this is your first time listening, welcome. I hope you enjoy the show. If you're returning, welcome back. I want to thank you so much for listening, and I hope you continue to find tips, ideas, and value from listening to this podcast. Today is going to be very short. I just want you to think about one thing: leadership. That's what it's all about today. I think we are all leaders in our own right. So we'll be right back after this message. Hi, my name is Dave with The Last Podcast. Have you ever heard of Impact Health Sharing? Impact Health Sharing is an affordable alternative to traditional health insurance. Impact is a caring community of people who share in each other's medical bills, and is for anyone interested in sharing, acting responsibly together, and saving on healthcare. For more information, click on the link in the show notes that reads Impact Health Sharing. This is David with The Last Podcast. We'll see you soon. So we're back today with one thought: leadership. So I know you heard me say I believe that we're all leaders in our own right, and I do. However, I don't think that a lot of us unleash the leaders within. And especially if you're a parent, I believe that you're leading your children. So we're all leaders, especially parents. But are we good leaders or are we bad leaders? That remains to be seen. But I want to talk about if you're being led, what would you like to see in the person who is leading? For me, I think one of the key ingredients to a leader is number one, for me, is trust. And I think without trust, we're not getting anywhere. You're unable to lead me anywhere if I don't trust you. So that's key for me. That's the number one thing. And I will correlate that with children. You know, if children don't trust you, they're not going to listen to you either. So I think trust is a big key ingredient, and for me, it's the number one ingredient. I have to be able to trust you. Along with that trust, I have to be able to see that you're consistent in what it is that you're doing. You're not one of these people who will say one thing and tell us to, hey, don't do as I say. Do as I say, but don't do as I do. Because that doesn't work either. Even children don't even believe in that. And some children will call you out on that. So, and believe it or not, I'm only speaking from experience because I do know that. I've done a couple of things and I've told my kids, hey, don't do that. If you see me do it, don't do what I'm doing. And it just doesn't work. So I realized at that time, hey, I got to set a better example. I have to be consistent with my messaging. I have to be consistent with my actions. So these are the things that I want to see also in a leader, because as we are leading others, we want to be able to give or be an example to others as well. So they in turn can be an example to others as well too. So those are really a key ingredient for me. Trust is huge. And I have to know that you're consistent. That's like, it's a marriage. You got to be consistent. You got to be consistent in everything that you do. And I do want someone who, if you're going to lead me anywhere and you make mistakes, I need you to be able to own up to that mistake. Take responsibility, take ownership of that mistake. And don't be the type of person who want to blame others or who are constantly blaming others for your issues, for your mistakes, or what have you. You got to be there owning your own thing. So that's key for me. I don't know about for you, but I'm asking, if you are being led or if you are leading, what is your key ingredient? What do you live by? What is your mission? You not only have to, for me, you not only have to be consistent and you have to be trustworthy. You have to take ownership when you basically do something that's not right instead of blaming others. I want you to be there and own up to what it is that you made a mistake on. And you have to be a sound decision maker, because if you're not going to be able to lead anybody, especially if you're the type of person who, I would say, procrastinates with your decision. If you can't be decisive in your decision making and it takes you a long time, sometimes that's as harmful as not making a decision at all. So I think you have to be a sound decision maker. For me, you got to be consistent. You got to be trustworthy. You have to take ownership, and your ethics have to be beyond reproach. That's what I would want to see, and I work towards this. I work toward it being trustworthy. I work toward being consistent. I work toward being ethical, because I'm in sales. So if somebody came to me and I'm consulting them on something, I would want them to be able to say, hey, you know what? I believe in him. I believe what he's saying, because he is steadfast in his ethical ways, and his work ethics, his ethics in life, and ability to be trustworthy. I've seen it when he was in a position where he could have did some unscrupulous things, but no, he stayed true to being honest. And that's another thing. I think honesty is at the top as well. You got to be honest. You gotta have, people are going to trust you. You have to be honest in everything. And you know what that old adage saying, when nobody's watching, that's when we find out who you really are. So when it comes down to being a leader, are you a leader for yourself as well as others? Now, I don't know about you, but for me, it's time to lead in a generational way where your leadership goes beyond your own lifetime. And that means that your leadership will benefit fruits beyond your life. And all the people that you've led, all the people that you influenced, all the people you came across, all those people will be better off having you in their life. And they would also take on that ownership, that consistency, that ethical way of living, that trustworthiness, and to be consistent in their own actions, in their own lives, and even in the family and the kids that they rear up. That is what we're talking about. Being consistent, not only in your words, but in your deeds, in your words, attitudes, beliefs, and your actions. Make sure they're aligned and uplifting and inspiring to others. That's what I'm aiming for. If you are a leader, or if you believe that you can be a leader, what do you want to aspire to? So that is my question to you, that hopefully make you think a little about, okay, how have I created this life of leadership for myself? And what I said in the very beginning, I believe we're all leaders in our own right, but you have to hone those skills. So let's just take that out. And if you're never been ice skating before, you put on a pair of skates and you get out there on the ice, and the first thing you do is slip and fall. You have an opportunity to say, I'll never put on ice skates again. This is just not for me. Or you can enhance and grow and learn by getting back up and getting back on the ice and continue to learn, get better and better at it. And you know what? You don't have to be a champion's ice skater, but you are able to skate around the ring so confidently. That's what we're talking about with our leadership, because we're all leading someone in life and we're all following. But here's the key. in order to be a great leader, I think you have to be a great follower first. And that's what I believe. Well, I just wanted to leave you with that thought today. My name is Dave. You're listening to the Last Podcast. And if you want to reach out to me, you can go ahead and do so by contacting me at lastpodcast443@gmail.com. Again, I thank you so much for listening. You guys are awesome. And keep on sending the emails. I appreciate you. Until tomorrow, you have a great day. Bye-bye.